Hey, greetings everyone, it's GleeCon, and I'm back again, bringing you another episode of Lore of Warcraft. Thanks for tuning in. On the last episode, we began doing Morogh with our human. She's pretending to be a dwarf now, and we're doing a walkthrough of everything in order in World of Warcraft Classic with accompanying spreadsheets and kind of my own strategies of a person that's just not that good at the game as we go through. This is our final alliance starting zone, and we got it kicked off last time, so stay a while. Listen. As we jump in, we got almost half the quest done, but I still think this will probably take us 3. I think assuming we're going to bust the whole rest of this zone out in just 1 hour is a little bit ambitious. All right, so we're going to go over to this. We're going to clear this half of the map, the northwest. There are some things to do. There's Operation Recombobulation, which gets us collecting things from the leper gnomes. There's a quest on the way called Tundra MacGrann's Stolen Stash. We're going to go ahead and clear that. It's pretty easy. It's a one-shot. We do have the Bitter Rival Ale quest line, low level, very easy, sends us back and forth from Karanos. And then we have the Frostmane Hold, where we can kill some of those guys. And then, of course, a lot of these will open up other steps in our journey. We've been collecting copper ore where we can, and we're going to keep doing that. I think we probably have enough. We only needed 12 more, and we're at 15. So we have enough to complete the quest, supplying the front. That is going to require us to go out to Loch Modan. So that's another thing. We'll probably pick that up and leave it where it stands. Because at the end of this, we'll be going to Loch Modan anyway. So I think I want to go down and just knock out Tundra MacGrann's Stolen Stash, because it's an easy one. But yeah, this is that will be convenient, and then we'll pick up the one that is supplying Redbridge or resupplying Redbridge, whatever it's called. It's the only other Alliance low-level blacksmithing quest. And then not until you're around level 40 or so at Blacksmithing 200 can you pick up the true Blacksmithing Path quests, which I think ultimately lead to some good gear and having you make a decision between whether you want to be an armor smith or a weaponsmith. I think both have their pros and cons. Anytime you're reading about it, when I did my research about it online, most of the research was centered around how much money you could make off it. But that does not matter at all to me. I don't care about making money in this game. Just don't care about it. I don't care about having enough potions needed to supply my run in a raid, and if that makes me less desirable in a raid group for endgame content, I just don't care. Because I'm not interested in spending a lot of time. I don't care about the endgame. For me, it's about the journey. Now, when the endgame becomes part of the journey, like, we will have to do this stuff at least once, so that for the sake of the show, but I'm sure I can glom onto a raid for one run. You know, if I call myself a learner, you know, most of the time I think, or if I get into a GDKP run or whatever, if I have some gold saved up, whatever the buy-in is, it'll be okay. So if you look, I kind of went off the road and I went, there's hills. The elevation is a little bit annoying here. Most of the time you have to walk around this cluster of mountains. But for this one particular quest, the guy is actually up in the mountain, and you can kind of give a dead getaway. There's like a hunter's blind right there, kind of. And that's your sign that you are in the right vicinity of this dude. And if he got up there, there must be a way, right? And this is this snow path. Okay, so this quest, you can complete it in one of 2 ways. This is why it's not technically an elite quest, even though you're essentially going up against an elite mob.
I had a month's worth of dried meat salted and locked away for the cold season. Kept it locked so the bears wouldn't get it. But while I was off hunting deer, that beast, Old Icebeard, made off with the meat locker. He won't be able to smash through that thorium, though. But I'll starve if I can't get my meats back. You seem a bit more stealthy than me.
Really?
Perhaps you can retrieve my stash. I'll never make it in and out of that cave fast enough with this bum leg of mine.
I guess he has to add that in, because otherwise, like, what if you made your character an old-looking, crusty dwarf like that? Then, and he's like, you look more stealthy than me. Really? So it's across the way in that cave. You can see blood smashed down all over it. And this is when I say there's two ways to do this. There's a box inside the cave. You just need to go pick it up. That's all you need to do for the quest. There's a giant Yeti, and he patrols the area. So if you get lucky, this guy, Old Icebeard, won't even be in here. We're strong enough. I say let's freaking go for it. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and hit that. We'll go ahead and hit him with a stun too. Why not? Okay. And yeah, we're just going to pop and hit. And if I have to, I'm going to pull a bubble and heal. But we might not even have to. Our judgment's going pretty nicely. I guess I should use the severed voodoo claw on him. Why not, right? Okay, so getting pretty good. As you can see, he has a pretty nice... He's got a kit of things. He had like a debuff, a terror style move. He doesn't have any loot also, so he did give us 300 XP, even at level 15. So we're just getting his dried meats. Seems like a lot of effort to go to for dried meat. There's tons of other ways. You can kite him out to one of the roads. If you're good with your kiting and get the guards to take care of him, you can kite him and delay him, and so that you can make a speed and run back and get the stuff before he comes back. You can be very patient, wait for him to pat out. He pats out to the end of the valley. So there's multiple ways to do it, but when you're following this walkthrough, you should be high enough to take it on as a challenge. Were you able to get into my meat locker, Vicomtessa?
What a kind soul you are, adventurer. Thanks to your bravery, I won't find myself starving when the cold season flurries blow.
Look, and those are actually an upgrade for us. So altogether, that was a 1200 XP experience with a bracer upgrade for us as a mail wearer. So that's nice. If you saw, also there was like some furry rabbit mittens or some crap. I was not planning on doing that, but whatever. Well, let me get some of this copper. I was going to go around and come down a little bit less suicidally, but I saw copper back there, but I'm not going to be running around that much. Okay, so yeah, we've got maybe 5 or so more pieces. We do really need all the copper that we can get our hands on. Alright, so as we're continuing, we're going to go ahead and stop at Brunel Village. This is also where, if you are starting as a dwarf and you're only doing this zone and you're just using this guide for pieces, or just for like a podcast, this is where you would come to learn your fishing. So it's a little bit more of a pain than some of the other races, but you can learn fishing right here at Brunel Village. Here's Greta Ganter, fishing supplies. The Ice Flow Lake. Let's see what she has.
What's happening?
We already know the one thing she teaches. And then if you want to actually learn the fishing, can't remember, the dude is out here. I'll bring us out here just to show you. There's a dude somewhere. I think he's over by the actual small hole in the ice where you can fish. I think we're good. I think our fishing is caught up. Yeah, we're at fishing 75, which is what we need. Oh, look, we get a ore for our trouble. Sometimes there he is. I was gonna say, sometimes there's a rare wolf out here, and there he is, Timber. He comes with a little pack, but it looks like he's only got one guy. So let's go ahead and take him. Oh, he does have a second one. Go ahead and get him too. He's only a 10 rare, and you know, much less crusty than Old Icebeard. Significantly easier. Okay. Again, the early level rares kind of stink too because all they give you usually is a white. Like we just got silver lined bracers, which are cloth bracers. The rest of his pack didn't even come to us. It's one of these. A lot of the times these packs like to fight you. And their dens have ore. So, I'm trying to, I think, this wolf is not even, he might aggro, yeah. Stay away from my ore. I'm a winter wolf, and I really need the ore. I guess. guess that was important to him. Oh, I watched the NBA playoffs yesterday, game 1, and the Timberwolves did pretty well. It was a pretty enjoyable game. So here's your fishing trainer, Paxton Ganter. You can also fish here up to around 75. Anything past 75, unless you're being OCD like me and getting 5 points here and there every time you level up. I wouldn't recommend going past 75 out here. I would just move into Iron Forge. There's a in Iron Forge right there at the Forlorn Cavern. Great place. Also, after a certain patch, although I don't think it's in Classic, you can also go for the achievement to fish up Old Crafty, I think it's called. It's like it's one of the few achievements I don't think I've ever gotten, because you might have to fish like a million times. You just be prepared to say like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and fish for like 10 hours. Which I would do that. I'm that guy, but I just never got around to doing it for fishing. I prioritize other achievements. And like I said, that's something I think we're going to do on future eps. Alright, so here there is a leather armor merchant here. We can sell off some of this stuff. I'll keep the wolf meat, you know. Boar meat. Got some cooking we can potentially do. Actually, there's a fire right there. Let's cook it up. Alright, so what do we got? Well, the spiced and charred are the same, so once they reach where they're both green, I don't care about the tiny little bit extra money you might get from buying the herbs. Get a little roasted boar meat out of it too. We could have, no, that takes credit. Alright, so we ended up getting a point of cooking. And not for nothing. I don't usually keep gear. Okay, here's one quest. Bitter Rivals.
Those Thunder Brews make some good drinks, but they need to learn that theirs isn't the only decent brew. Maybe you can help me teach them that lesson. Here, take this barrel of barley brew Scalder. Sneak into the basement of the Thunder Brew distillery in Caranos and switch it with one of their barrels of Thunder Ale. Then we'll see how their patrons like my brew over theirs. And if the barrels are guarded, then you might have to distract the guard.
Alright, so we'll do that one in a minute. And that one has the only couple repeatable. If you look at my spreadsheets, there are some quote-unquote repeatables. Where is it? Right here. Guarded Thunderbrew Barrel and Distracting Jarven. We'll talk about those as we kind of go, but we just picked up the Bitter Rivals quest. Oh, you know what? I missed that. We just did Tundra MacGrann's Stolen Stash. I forgot to add that in to the spreadsheet, but we did pick that quest up. So we picked it up and completed it, and then we just picked up Bitter Rivals. So this one we'll complete in a minute. Not hard at all, but it is going to require us to run back, and I don't want to do that quite yet for time. Here's the one we're turning in.
How are you?
Karstadt Brewers League. They have access to all the best ingredients while we're stuck here grubbing for grain and hops. I really would like to give them some bitter tasting justice. Here's the Evershine quest.
Bellowfiz needs some of my Evershine. Alright. I have a cask of Evershine handy, but can you do me a favour? Brunel Village could use a hand against the wild animals that wander the nearby snows. Sometimes they wander close. We're not afraid of these bears and cats and boars. No self-respecting dwarf would be. But if you can take care of those animals for us, then we'd have more time for our crafting and brewing.
Okay, so this is probably the most tedious quest in the whole zone. You have to kill 6 bears, 8 boars, 8 leopards. Finding them all and getting them is the trick part. And here's the Perfect Stout.
I'm on a quest to make the Perfect Stout. I know I can do it. Brewing's in my blood. I just need to find the right recipe. The Frostmane trolls grow a plant, shimmerweed, high up in the hills to the east. They use it in their strange tribal rituals. We dwarves haven't found much use for it, but it has a unique taste. And I want to experiment with it in my brews. Get me some shimmerweed from Frostmane seers, or swipe it from the troll's shimmerweed baskets.
And I really want that goat fur cloak, so...
Off with you.
Alright, so we just turned in Evershine and picked up a favor for Evershine and the Perfect Stout. So let's go ahead and look at our sheet. We just completed Evershine. Okay, cool. And then we picked up 2 more quests. A favor for Evershine and the Perfect Stout. So let's go to there. Where's the Perfect Stout? There it is. Okay, so, you know, all beer related, which is fine. That fits like the kind of lore perspective. And I don't think there's anything else really in this town, so you've got a nice place you could... Oh, this guy sells ale and wine.
Great to meet you.
So if you just ever want any of that, I don't think there's anything quest specific for him. Alright, so we got all kinds of stuff because now the map's all lit up again for what we can complete. The Shimmerweed is up there. The Frostmane. So what I'm going to do is we're going to head out and just do all the things we need to do, and then we'll kill mobs as we see them. So we'll start by heading to Frostmane Hold. There's a snow leopard. The problem also is that you just need so many of them too. So you need 8 and only 6 bears, but there's a bear. The bears are a little harder to find. So it's just a matter of going out of your way, killing these. I mean, it'll be easier for us since we're so much higher level, but it's really the bears, I believe, if I recall. This right here, I think is... We're getting close to a thief quest, a rogue quest, I think. Right around here is... well, this is the Nomergon kind of proper, but... Yeah, there's a, I'll come back for the Nomergon piece. Well, there's an ore I want to get right there. Yeah, so we already got kind of blown off my original course by the fact that I saw mobs I need. Yeah, there's another boar. Yeah, the boars are easy to get. I would say it's the bears. It's tricky to sometimes hunt down all the bears. Okay, we got one each of these cogs. These cogs and things are not that hard to get. They can be a little bit of a grind, but that's really not that big a deal. Okay, another boar down. Let's get some ore down. Yeah, none of this stuff is hard. This is... That's why I think it's hard by my own rating system. I think it's funny that this zone rates out. It's shorter than Teldrassil. I would say in the whole, I would consider from a practical perspective, Teldrassil is harder. So I could see saving Teldrassil to last. That would also allow you to do your Durotar run later. It would also allow you to skip if you don't care about being so OCD and getting Durotar. You could save some of that stuff like until you were naturally in the area with Ratchet or whatever. So you could, from a time perspective, save yourself some time and do that stuff later. Because it would allow you, if you did this zone first, that would give you a reason to go out to Loch Modan, and then from there, well, it's much easier to do the wetlands and go over from wherever it is, Menethil Harbor or whatever. Alright, so here's the Frostmane area. You actually... What do we need to kill? We need to kill headhunters. Just 5 of them. See, these snow striders aren't useful to us. There's a headhunter. Oh, I'm fighting 2 now. 3. Okay. What did you just cast on me? Fairy Fire. I think that it's... I like that how he's got a weak version of Fairy Fire that has a casting time that can be interrupted. It does last a minute though, so I guess that's... It is decreased my armor a fair enough amount. Almost 200 points of reduction of armor. Alright, so yeah, these headhunters are the ones that have a spear, and they look like they have like big purple mohawks compared to the other guys. No biggie. There's ore in here, we'll go that way. I don't know how far. I think we just have to get into that cave. Oh, we got another bag. We got a small green pouch. I don't think that matters. Yeah, our other bags are better. There's a snow strider within the cave. He's gonna fairy fire me again, and there's a headhunter peppering me with spears. So these guys are aggroing onto me actually in like a decent range. It's okay. No, don't do it. Don't get your friend. Guess I could have judgmented. I could have judged him. You have been judged. All right, so I got all the headhunters now. These are like little, well, it's called a hide skinner, so it's probably like a rogue. It's ore. If we're being real, I just want the ore. Got a scroll of spirit. And then I probably need to go back around for the cave. Yeah, well, I'm getting bad luck on those ores. Like, they're all like 2. Kill this Snow Strider again. He's hit me with another fairy fire. Can't go invisible. It says, okay, so I guess maybe I could have stayed up on the edge and it would have been okay. It's fine. They might send us back in here for another reason. I didn't want to stun him. Mistake. Here's the Shadow Casters. I feel like there's probably a questline that wants you to kill those. And I don't know, I guess those are probably like Shadow Priests or something. Oh, okay. That was a dead end. There's more copper in here. I guess since I already came this far, might as well get it. Actually got. These guys are worth XP. Well, I'll be gosh darned. I don't know where the other one is. Maybe around. So this cave is kind of like a big loop, I guess. But yeah, a lot of these things. There you go. Now I got a 4-1. A lot of these, like, don't. The challenge of the cave is wiped out by us being such high level. I went out for dinner with my sister last night, and my brother-in-law. And I hadn't seen him in a while. We usually hang out a pretty decent amount, but like we were he's coming to get me. We just realized we haven't seen each other since like Christmas. And I mean, we've been busy, but so they always like to go to the same place. It's whenever we pick a certain place that's like halfway between, because we live like about 45 minutes away from each other. So we try to pick a place that's like a halfway. And it is like the true definition of a compromise, because none of us think that the food is amazing. It does have like outdoor seating with live music, but the music is like never great. I'm just aggroing all over. I guess they are not gray. I'm just used to them being gray. So this is probably like one of the hardest things that you would do in this little area. I guess would be, because they're all level 10 and you're fighting a cave full of them. But anyway, I had this I had a lamb burger, and I'm normally a big fan of lamb, and it was not very good. And I don't know if it was the quality of the lamb, if it was the combination of things I did, but now, like, I've just been tasting it since last night. I've got that aftertaste of like, not the highest quality lamb, and I'm gonna say, can't recommend that experience. So if you're like, what would be a good Sunday for me today? I know what I'll do. I will have a lamb aftertaste in my mouth. That's from not good lamb, like some lamb, sure, it's good. And I think it's, I don't know, maybe, I'd have to say, I'd have to go back in the kitchen and really roll up my sleeves and be like, what did you do with this lamb? My wife had a bison burger or buffalo burger, which I don't know, also seems like unnecessary to me. Just give me a regular burger. Why does it have to be a bison burger? Unless there's like a particularly great quality of bison, and that tastes better than I think I've had it before, but... Now, as far as, like, environmental sustainability, I guess you gotta enjoy that crap while it's there, because... who knows? Like, I think I read somewhere that lamb is, like, one of the least environmentally sustainable foods that you can eat. So, as much as I like it, I'd have to, like, you know, enjoy it, because there may come a day where it's just so prohibitively expensive or rare or regulated to where it doesn't exist, or who knows. But you know what? Somehow I will survive. Yeah, so we're getting pretty lucky. I think the biggest part of this luck here that we're experiencing is that we're here at a good time of day.
Inventory is full.
Well, gee willikers. What can we throw out? Yeah, I'll throw that out. Got a beat stick. That's not as good as some of the things that I like. We gotta go sell, that's what we gotta do. How about... I guess I'll throw those gloves off. Now this Mountaineer chest piece at 81, probably not as good as what yeah. I don't have anything amazing, but... Alright, let's go sell... at the little camp. And we'll come back. Where are we at? So, we've killed 4 leopards. I saw one right there. Can't not kill you. We do need 2 more bears, 2 more boars, 4 more leopards. So we are really, like, probably 70% done. Oh my gosh. And we got that one-handed sword. I'm gonna throw away this single fang. No, we just gotta go sell. Oh, there's another leopard. They really just don't want me to sell. Oh, I could throw this jerky out. Sure. Okay, I'll come back to the leopards. There's the camp right there. We got to sell. All right, so we're making good progress, but again, we've used about half of our time, and we haven't finished this one part. So I was probably accurate in thinking this is we're gonna need one more ep to finish this zone.
What can I get for you today?
You can sell. What can I get for you? I have a lot of intriguing items that maybe a fine connoisseur of. Oh, I want to actually keep those. A fine connoisseur like yourself might be interested in. I could condense some of these ores as well.
Very good.
Alright, so we've done the trolls. We can also go work on the leper gnomes now. But yeah, we've done the bitter rivals, I guess. No, we haven't. We've done the Frostmane Hold, which I really thought we had to... I guess let's turn into Carnos. Okay. There you go. Another leopard done. So we need 2 bears. We need 2 of each, basically. We're down to needing 6. Not too shabby. Okay, got another boar, and I see another boar there. Is this for me, or is there someone out here hunting? It could be for me. I mean, I did cut quite a little swath of through here, and I haven't seen another living person. But I mean, that would just be, like, funny. I'd be, like, mad at myself. Who's killing all my things? And it's really me. Alright, so boars are done. We don't need any more boars. We still do need 2 leopards and 2 bears. And like I said, the bears are... Oh, you do it. Okay, we got another gear. Like 2 of these guys. That one died fast. No. Oh, he tried to hit me with decayed strength, but I guess I resisted it. Like that. Okay, so nothing special there. This little guy. Oh, he's a rare. That's cool. I don't think I've ever fought this guy. Gibblewilt. It's cool. I've never fought that dude. Okay, so he gave me some some cloth pants. This is where you come for the rogue quest. As you can see up here, there's a little gnome, but there's an invisible dude, and that is the that's the rogue, the dwarf rogue trainer. So if you wanted to be a dwarf rogue, this is where you'd come for your level 10 or whatever class quest. Alright, so as you can see, the drop rate's like not amazing, and again, these guys do have a tendency to run. They're not the, you know, they're not the easiest mobs in the zone. So it is sometimes in busier parts of the day, or busier servers, like a hardcore server or whatever, the competition for these guys can be a little bit annoying. So just be prepared for that. I have definitely also if you tend to go, and depends where you go, you know. Pretty good. The journeyman's belt. But yeah, I mean, we're outside of Morogh, and we're fine. We're halfway done with picking up all of our cogs. More there. You do have plenty of area to get them from, so it would have to be, you just might have to move. You're never going to be in a sitch where you're like, I just don't know where, I just want to get these guys and I'm waiting for them to spawn. I'll cut you. Will you now? Okay. That guy had a lot. Should probably bust a heal out. Let's give it a try. Yeah, we've upgraded our healing spell last time we leveled up, so that's cool. Oh, my lesson might wear off. Alright, so we're just going to continue to kill leopards. That was cool, though, that we fought that rare. Dead. You're not going to decay my strength. Okay, we do see boars everywhere, so as you can tell, the boars are not the problem. Our map should be a little bit less populated now that it's not tracking every single boar on planet Azeroth. So yeah, and again, to talk about, I've talked about this before. Somebody asked me in one of the comments about whether I would get bored. Oh, there's a snow leopard just coming out the cut. When you are leveling up above. And see, this is the biggest overlap because we're going to be moving on to a higher level zone now. And look, I'm still getting XP from some people. Just got 90 from that leopard gnome. I'm about to. So there's still a leveling up process that goes on. It's just, you know, it slows down, and it's made up for. This is something I think that hardcore people are probably very like used to this idea. Okay, so we have all the cogs, but we still need 2 more gears. This idea of just grinding your butt off so that you are always fighting things that are below you. Which does make other pieces of gear also, like, at least in the leveling experience, like, who cares about hit gear and stuff like that if you're fighting mobs that are below you, because you're going to be hit capped on them. Which is why I'm doing a sort of a hit capped build when I pick the talents. It's partly why I'm doing the hit capped paladin build. Even though we're not hit capped, because it's really just a tweak. Oh, we need.
Is full.
Are you kidding? We'll throw out this bread. I don't need that. So we need to go resell. We need to go sell again. But we're so close. We need one more stinking. That was a nice hit. 52. Now we've seen Eritor really black.
Can't carry anymore.
Let's get rid of these. I tend to try to throw away gray cloth gear first. I kind of go in that order. In like thickness of I don't think it always translates, because then like Questy will or LVY will always be like the most valuable loot. This quest set of choices is this cape. And I'll be like, what? Like, who would want a stupid 5 armor cape above like a set of plate mail or whatever? Okay, that's an extreme example. That would not be the case. Alright, here's the 2 bears I need in. I just killed the leopards. So, we are going to also be wrapping that up. I love that. He just literally hit me with an ice claw that slowed my attack speed.
Inventory is full.
Oh, you dirty rat. Okay, so now I'll throw these... Actually, that's a white belt, so...
I can't carry anymore.
Weapons I try to save for last. They typically sell for the most. I'll sell that. You know, even though I am leery because we have to kill one more, so a 2 stack of those might have been better. I could make some of these. Okay, we got nothing. So that's good. Oh, here's some ore. Let's get that. I really want that other... Bear all on my butt. We really need that 1 cog, too.
Inventory.
I knew it! I freaking knew it. Knew it. Alright, I really want that other cog before I go back, because then I'm going to go back and turn that in, and then, well, we have to go over there to the Shimmer Stout area, too. Alright, fine. We'll go here, we'll turn some of this stuff in, and we'll sell, and then we'll come back and get our last little cog, and we need to go up and get the Shimmer Stout, and then we can still have to come back there. And then we can kind of do a back and forth to Karanos. That will probably take us to the end of the ep. But yeah, let's go ahead and sell.
How are you?
12 copper repair. Go ahead and get rid of some of this stuff. Bam, bam. See, those just sell for a little more. Now that is good, but buy non-equip usually has a small advantage over it. Let's go ahead and cook up some of what we have, which is just the boar meat. And then I will also do my first aid. Look how close we are to leveling up. We might level up from this quest. Okay, and then heavy linen bandages. Remember, we're trying to get to 80, and then when we're back in Karanos, we can whatchamacallit. There we go, 75. So now we can learn... No, we already did that. But the march to 80 is painful because it turns green and there's nothing you can do. Now, they did just get 4 points, so that's pretty good. But we're not gonna hit our 80 on this one, but we're getting very close. There you go, 78. Love it. Okay, so we're literally 1 point away. So we're so close. Alright. We're making good progress. Can sell those cragboar ribs and stuff. We get back in town. Alright, so we're gonna turn in this one. There. Favor for Evershine.
Thank you, adventurer. It'll be nice to work our crafts without hearing so many growls and snorts outside the village. Here's your
and we leveled up.
Evershine, adventurer. And again, thank you for the hunting earlier.
Be good.
Okay, so we finished a favor for Evershine, and we also let's stretch it out a little bit. We just picked up Return to Bellowfiz. So we finished a favor for Evershine. I don't know what Return to Marlith is, but we got Return to Bellowfiz. Okay. We also leveled up, which is great. So that gets us a couple things. So it sets us up for the next episode. Now let's look at the professions, because now we're 16. So as class quests go, we have to do an episode next time where we read about the 16 druids. Any other 16? I do think there's one more. 16 rogues. Okay. So we have druids and rogues that at this point in time you would learn your aquatic form for a druid and for a rogue. I believe this is... I'm trying to remember. I think this is the path that... It's pretty big. It's just got multiple different paths before. This is the one where you basically... I think it's the quest chain that ends with you learning how to use venom. So, or whatever, poison, whatever you want to call it. Let's also learn our new skill. We'll get our second judgment. So now we have a 2-second cooldown on judgment. Love that. It only has an 8-second cooldown. Great for us. And then now we'll spend the next 3 levels just increasing our blessing of might. Alright, so, we also have to fish. We can fish here in the lake, in the frozen lake. That part we can get done. I don't want to forget to do that, but we definitely are... We don't have enough time left on this episode to do the... Like, we only have about 15 minutes. That's not long enough. There we go, we got our last gear. That's not long enough to read all of those quests about the druid and the rogue. Now, those quests, we will do that less and less. Look, we got a bunch to turn in, which is great. Some of them will require us to run back and forth. We may or may not get to every little step of the way. We're also going to see this guarded Thunder Brew barrel. Dang it, I'm just looking at the map. Your camouflage worked so well, Snow Leopard. And the distracting Jarven. So those are repeatable in the sense that if you screw them up, you can do them again. They're really just like steps in the quest chain process. And later on, in retail, the game gets a lot better about building steps into quests. But in Classic, they basically couldn't figure that out. So they were just they're building that technology and code as they went. So what you end up with is these weird one-shot quests embedded into the game in the middle of certain things if they want the quest to be a little bit more complicated. It's kind of like their workaround. But they had to make it repeatable because otherwise, let's say you completed that step and then screwed it up, you'd never be able to get the rest of the quest done. But then there are also repeatable quests that have conditions, like you have to essentially be on a certain quest for it to work, or it has to be in your log, or I don't know what the switch is like in the line of code. Like if quest A is in your log equals yes, that kind of thing. We don't need any more headhunters. But as you can see, you could have got a couple over here. But we had to explore that cave anyway, so. There is shimmerweed throughout. So this is more of the same guys, it's just a smaller camp than the cave. We also need to learn skills, but we can learn skills and stuff in Karanos. There is a paladin trainer there. Food crate, not a shimmerweed crate. There you go. As I say, the shimmerweed crates look like little baskets. Okay, we're gonna be fighting the whole pack. No problemo. Kill the casters first, because they're jerks. Boom, got that one done. Got a shimmerweed from that. Anyway, so not only can you get it from the casks, but they also drop from these guys. Got resisted though. Okay, let's pop a heal off too. So these little basket-looking ones are the shimmerweed baskets. Okay, so they can each have one. I got 2 just from killing the mobs. There's typically, yeah, there's an ore. That too. There's usually a couple here and there around the trees. And then, like, there's another 2, so that's the 2 we need. But you can also go into the cave. There's usually 1 or 2 baskets in the cave. I don't even care about this battered chest. What are the chances it's going to have something good? Well, I don't think battered can even have a green item in it. So the chances are low. It's like always food and like... Well, maybe you can get like some leather. Okay, we'll open it up. Leather is useful for us. We do need that. It'll stop us from having to buy it at the auction house. Or beg people. Nope, we got blue cheese and some trash bracers. Okay. You know, ATF humanly insects. I sense. Alright, so we got all of the ones that we need. And there is another copper bean right here. Okay, so that one we do need to go back to Brunel Village. I'm going to do that. That helps us get one of the other stouts, beers, whatever. And as you can see, though, time's a ticking. And there will be some back and forth we got to do. Okay, so we'll go ahead and run back to that little place and complete the Bitter Rivals, I believe it's called. I think this one was Bitter Rivals. I might be wrong. This might be the Perfect Stout. Look, they're hunting that tiger. So it looks like we haven't completed a lot, but actually we're gonna go turn in a bunch of these all at once. That'll be our top-ish priority. We also have to, I want to not forget to level up our paladin skills, so we don't even have a gold right now. Maybe we will once we sell some of these things. What are those violet robes? Cool. Finding some, you know, it's always like that. We're finding some interesting caster stuff and robes and things on this run. We will actually get some money from turning these things in too, so that might be better to do before we get our last quest. Yeah, so this is Bitter Rivals. I was right about. No, this is the Perfect Stout. So might as well go check that one off in the spreadsheet as we run over there. Oh, I forgot to fish. You know what? We can fish on the... This is like the only spot to fish. Alright, fine. Don't want to forget my fishing. You only need 5 points just to get us to 80. And 16 is about... That's pretty much what you can expect. I've done this now. This is... I'd say I've done this about 8 times over the past few months, this experience, and the level 16 is about what you're going to get to after completing the first 3 questing zones for your class. You'll have a slight edge because of the Duratar stuff we have to do, slight edge with your alliance people, like maybe you only hit 15 as a horde, but it will be made up for easily by the fact that the horde will then go run Ragefire Chasm, so horde will actually end up higher, maybe around 17. Which is good because then what will happen is we'll run Westfall and be ready to do the Dead Mines. That's next. And I'm just trying to clock my sheet here. Right, and then that'll open up Dead Mines, and you will want your character, your horde character, ready to go, but if you're like around level 17, you'll be fine. You can run Dead Mines at that level. And we'll have a whole kind of guide-ish. I've already sort of showed you how we'll get there, but we'll also look at how you repair, and I had pretty good luck getting a group for Dead Mines as Horde. I think because it's sort of a novel thing, people are willing to do it. That was my experience. I've literally only done it once, but I broadcast it, and then I had a bunch of people that were like, you know what, that sounds fun. Like, we don't typically do that as Horde. So, and there are some great equipment drops in Dead Mines for people that are of that level. So, look, this guy's back. I think this timber. Yeah. So he is a quote-unquote rare, but as you can see, he's freaking always there. He's leading his pack. So be careful if you're trying to shortcut through. I was going to call it Dog Poop Island when my family, we went to a lake one time, and we took a boat, and there was like tiny islands throughout the lake, and we stopped at one just kind of checking. It was just full of dog poop. It was like a tiny, like a lake, like an island the size of like a living room, and it was just dog poop everywhere.
Talk to me.
So they call it Dog Poop Island, my kids. Do you have that shimmer weed? I almost have a batch of the stout ready to brew, and I want to try throwing the weed in with this mixture.
Great! I can't wait to use these in some of my recipes. There's one in particular I think it'll work great in. I'd like my brother Wellart to try my new Shimmer Stout. He's a mountaineer, stationed in the Southern Guard Tower, one of 2 towers on the border to Loch Modan. He may not be a brewer like the rest of us barley brews, but he loves his drinks, and I know he'll like this one. Can you bring him this barrel of Shimmer Stout for me?
Okay, so we just finished the Perfect Stout, so we can check that one off, and then we picked up, what's it called? I think it's just called Shimmer Stout. Yeah. So that's sort of like our breadcrumb out of this place. So we just finished the Perfect Stout. And then we picked up Shimmer Stout. So we'll sell, and we are getting mighty, mighty close. Mighty, mighty boss tones to the end of...
I've the finest wires in the land.
What we can handle. Or what we have time for, really. Okay, let's go ahead and cook up a little smidgy
Your
poo.
feet on the ground.
So we can do Longjaw Mud Snapper. That's nice. So before we do that, let's do the Brilliant Small Fish that we got. Okay, we'll see if we get any points of cooking for that. Probably not, but maybe we get one. Okay, nope. Now, I don't think our beer guy will have Rhapsody Malt. Let's see if they do. Let's see if he does. There is a beer ale guy right around here. Oh, that is this guy.
What can I get for you today?
Do you have Rhapsody Malt, my friend? Great. So that also just goes to show, like, why this is a freaking worthless recipe, because you can buy the Rhapsody Malt, like, one place in the game, which is Karanos. And it's already yellow. It's not even that hot. Like, it's... We're gonna do it. We're gonna buy it. When we get back to Karanos in a few.
How are you?
Alright, let's sell our fish we just made. Look at all these kegs of... Just tons of kegs of ale. Alright, so... That's good. We can now go back to Karanos. And work on a little of these quest turn-ins here for a few minutes. Level up our... Oh, we're so close to 1 gold. I think we were... Yeah, we spent a pinch on repairs. But we've earned... about 25 silver on this app. Not a ton. Not a 25 silver in an hour. Not the best. We're not exactly raking it in. All right. So, oh, we got some more ore. There's some ore here and here. We just need a ton. So, imagine diving into this icy lake like in real life. IRL. Could you see yourself doing it? I can't believe these fish are alive. Also, not only just diving in, but diving in so that you could mine ore. Seems weird. Okay, so there is another one right there outside this cave. It's like a bear cave. We can cut through this mountain. Let's see how, I don't like it. I guess I'll run us to this valley instead. Because I think that's where all the trolls are. I don't trust them. This was a nice rich ore vein. I like it. But yeah, so we've done a lot. My goal was to really finish this zone, and I think we will. This is a less dense half. It's just going to require a little bit of back and forthing. There is our elite quest that we'll get to do. That's what makes this zone cap out. That's the hardest. This area is not one covered in... You just get it uncovered for free. It's just not one done in Classic. But in Cataclysm, you can actually do a quest line involving this. It's like an airstrip field or something. We now have the breadcrumbs leading us out to Loch Madon, which we'll do. At some point, we're going to go into Ironforge to mess around a little bit. Not on this episode, but... Alright, so first let's go to return to Bellowfiz. I'm not even going to fight these guys. I'm just going to... shield myself from all the wolves. That's a freaking pack of wolves. Snow Tracker Wolf. Alright, so actually we're right here with Operation Recombobulation. Well, let's bring these wolves into the house. Let's see if they want to come in. What will these gnomes do? Will they fight with me? No, they won't. I can already tell you. Alright.
Hey!
The Recombobulator will be up and running as soon as we have sufficient restabilizing cogs and gyromechanic gears.
These gyromechanic gears and restabilization cogs are in perfect accordance with Ozzy's schematics for the recombobulation device. Once I add some hydrolubricant to the inner combustion pistons, adjust the cranker ratchet, and increase of the viscosity of the electrogum gel, the gnomish race will be as good as new. Off and away.
Alright, so he says, let me install these gyromechanic gears and restabilization cogs and we'll fire up the Recombobulator. So he's going to try to do something to this captured leper gnome here. We also... That should do the trick. Now he's going to pull the lever. Time to save the entire gnomish race. Here goes nothing. Red light comes on. Oh, great. This is like one of the things from the Ancients. I was thinking the same thing. Okay, the laser is charging up this little electro gun, aiming at him. Lightning, and now it's shooting its stuff all over him, and it turned him into... Just says captured leopard gnome, but if you look at it, he's a chicken. So it turned him into a chicken. Ha 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 ha. Ah. So it didn't work. And that's it. So little bit comedy for you right there from Blizzard. So we finished Operation Recombobulation. Good on us. And where was that at? Okay. Now the leopard gnome is respawned. So they don't even have commentary about their failure. I mean, spoiler, they don't solve the problem. Even in Cataclysm, I believe they've kind of fought their way into Morogh, so the gnomes have their own starting zone, which I love. But it is not. Now, the starting zone for gnomes, you have to be a gnome to do. Maybe, I think the same for trolls. Here's return to Bellowfiz.
No.
Did you get that Evershine?
Yes, this will do just fine. I think I'll open a bottle right now and have a taste.
Okay, so we did get him his beer. So return to Bellowfiz has been completed. Nothing special comes off of that. Just did it. Okay. Boom. All right. Now let's go into Karanos proper. All right, so we'll turn the Frostmane Hold in quest first. Got some things we can sell. Oh, I can't wait until we get this Pursuit of Justice. Oh my gosh, that movement speed is so nice. Here's Seal of Command and then Pursuit of Justice. Those are like the best paladin things. And then there's nothing. This tier is trash, so then you just spend some time finishing out the other stuff. Alright, so here is Frostmane Hold.
Ah, adventurer! I didn't think you'd have much trouble finding the place. My directions are excellent, you know. Let me just finish up my report then.
He brings out some paper and scribbles on it momentarily.
Is funny. I don't suppose, adventurer, that you would mind doing one last favour for me? Excellent. Take my report to Senator Baron Redstone. He's a sour type.
So that's our
don't let his
breadcrumb into
less-than-sunny
Ironforge.
disposition get to you. He's in Ironforge, in the chamber where King Magni holds court. Don't know the way to Ironforge? Take the road out of Karanos North, cross the bridge, then follow the road east. There are large banners flanking the road up the mountainside. By the way, if you might avoid mentioning how you assisted me. Can't let them think I'm not working hard out here, you know?
So that is something we will be doing. And actually, sure, we'll read Sinir's report. A report on the state of the Frostmane Trolls. Oh, actually, first let's do this. We finished Frostmane Hold and we picked up the report. So let's do our spreadsheet so that I don't forget that. So we finished Frostmane Hold and then we picked up the reports. So let's go ahead and spread this out a little bit more. Clearly we have some work to do. Frostmane Hold, way up there, we picked it up. Finished, pick up. Okay, a report on the state of the Frostmane Trolls in the general area of Morogh. The trolls situated in Morogh are largely centralized in Frostmane Hold. A mountain cave on the western border. They have sufficient numbers to cause some concern, however. They seem more than content to stay in their cave. This is no doubt because they do not wish to incur the wrath of the dwarves again and risk total extermination. Their actions can be considered territorial, if anything, and it is my belief that they pose no real threat to us so long as we do not encroach upon their territory. This may be a situation unappealing to the dwarven populace, but given the dispersal of military resources, it may be prudent to relegate the extermination of the trolls to a lower level of importance and continue to focus on the threat posed by the trogs and the dark irons. Enclosed, you'll also find a copy of my brother Gerlin's report on Amblemar, signed Sinir. White Bridge. Oh, okay, the second two pages are the one we already read. Here's our paladin trainer.
The light be with you, adventurer. How
Okay,
can
so
I
we
help
get
you?
no holy. We already did that last time. Seal of righteousness, we're not high enough for. Okay. What about protection? Well, we can get righteous fury. This is your tanking buff. So basically, you have to use holy attacks all the time for this. This really stacks with consecration. Lasts 30 minutes, so it's essentially a slip into tanking buff. Let's close our bags. So this to me really is better for over here, because it's rare that we're going to use it, only if we have to be a tank.
The light be with you, adventurer. How can I help you?
The only protection thing. So now you can kind of sort of viably, and we now get Retribution Aura. So it's our second aura, not as good as protection when you're soloing, but if you were stacking a party with two pallies, then now you have this added on. Or you could potentially, yeah, I don't know if that would stack with this, but it's okay. It gives it some extra damage. It's worth considering, but most of the time, pretty much in every situation, you're going to want the improved devotion aura. So that was a very weak level up. Not a lot of skills. All right, so here's where we're going to look at the extra stuff. So we need this. Where is it at? I think somewhere in here. There's some beer. Okay, we need this ale. Basically, we need this stuff. So first of all, this is the guarded Thunder Brew barrel. If you try to pick it up, it says that this barrel of ale is guarded by Jarven Thunder Brew. As long as he's in the basement, no barrels may be disturbed. Hold, Vikandas, I'm guarding these barrels, so look but don't touch. And you can keep doing that infinity, you get nothing from it. So, we'll go over to our quest. We've picked up the guarded Thunder Brew barrel. It's not really important. You can pick it up and turn it in. It's not a real quest. The other one is distracting Jarven.
What can I do for you?
So you need Thunder Ale for this. We also need some barley malt or whatever it's called. We have 4 Cragboar ribs, so we got a couple of those that we can do. So let's go to the innkeeper and buy our ale. We need
We've stories to tell.
1 Thunder Ale, and I believe it's the Rhapsody malt that we need for the beer. Right, we do. So we need 4 of those. So it's costing 2 silver to make this, which I hate. Like, they better sell for more than 2 silver, or else you're losing. Now, boom, we're at 80, so this is just... Okay, we got us 81, that's good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and look at... It sold for 40 copper. And what do you get? It's just a regular... It's completely not worth it. You lose money on the deal. It's... I don't know why. I'm just getting so angry just thinking about it. It's got to be one of the worst recipes in the game. So you had better be desperate. So now we're going to complete the second quest, which is called Distracting Jarven, because now we have an ale.
There is all this booze down here, but I have strict orders not to touch it. If only I could get a taste of some of our Thunder Ale. That would sharpen my wits, no lying.
For me, you're a true hero, adventurer.
So we've completed that, and now he says, that sure does hit the spot. I think I'll get myself a couple more. Can you watch these barrels for me? Now we take the barrel. The date on this barrel shows that it will soon be tapped. You quickly place Marlith's barrel of barley brew Scalder among the Thunder Brew barrels. And then now we return to Marlith. Having inserted a barrel of Marlith's Scalder in the Carnos Distillery cellar, you grab a barrel of Thunder Ale as proof of the deed. Okay, so we've swapped it out. We've basically stolen...
Hey there, Ben. Give me a mug of Thunder Ale and one for my good friend Grey Contessa.
Alright, so we now just did Distracting Jarven, which is just, again, just part of the quest. It's not a real quest. And then we completed, what is it called? Bitter Rivals, I think. We completed Bitter Rivals and picked up Return to Marlith. So now Bitter Rivals, and then we picked up Return to Marlith. Okay, so that's probably a good end for us here. So that puts us to where we have to run back over there, which is fine. We can do that. We do have some things sending us into Carnos. Into Ironforge. And then we have, of course, this whole area of the world. What is in here? I don't remember if the reports... We'll look into that next time if there's a reason we should save going over there or not. But I think, yeah, that's good. Good progress today, and we went a little over, but it happens a lot on this show. Okay, so we have another episode in the pipe, 5x5. Thank you everybody so much for watching and for tuning in, and I will see you all next time on Lore of Warcraft.